A second day of losses on Wall Street pulled MSCI's broadest index of Asia-Pacific shares outside Japan. MIAPJ0000PUS down 0.1%. The index has gained about 2% on the week, during which Wall Street climbed to record highs. And financial spreadbetters predicted a essentially flat to fractionally higher open for European shares, with Britain's FTSE expected to open up to 0.03% higher, Germany's DAX GDAXI to open up 0.04% and France's CAC FCHI to open 0.2% higher. And Tokyo's Nikkei stock average N225 dropped 1.9%, dragged lower by the yen's gains against the dollar, which could put pressure on the earnings of Japanese exporters. The Nikkei has shed 1% this week. And Indian shares NSEI touched a new record high, and the rupee strengthened to a 10-month peak against the dollar, boosted by early results in India's election that put the business-friendly opposition on course for an absolute majority. And with political uncertainty cleared, the rupee's outlook is getting brighter. It will also benefit from more carry trades, said Unipark, a currency and bond analyst at Dongbu Securities in Seoul. And the dollar traded little changed at 101.46 yen, off a 2-month low of 101.31 yen hit Thursday on the back of a continued decline in U.S. Treasury yields. The dollar is poised to end the week about 0.25% lower versus the Japanese currency. And benchmark U.S. Treasuries yields fell to 6-month lows on Thursday after Greek government bonds weakened and sparked a safety bid for U.S. debt, even though U.S. economic data pointed into a firming economy. And Lieutenant, U.S. and GTN, U.S. yields may not stabilize until we have consistent improvements in U.S. data, which means that for the time being, the trend in the greenback could still be lower, Kathy Lean, Managing Director of FX Strategy for BK Asset Management, wrote in a note to clients. And the dollar has fared better against the euro, with the common currency poised to lose about 0.3% on the week, weighed down by expectations the European Central Bank will ease monetary policy in June. And weak Eurozone GDP and muted inflation data further fueled easing expectations on Thursday. And the euro traded little changed at $1.3710 after dropping to a 2-12-month low of $1.3648 on Thursday on easing prospects. And in commodities, gold stood little changed at $1,296.35 an ounce following a fall of almost 1% on Thursday after a drop below the $1,300 threshold triggered technical selling. Upbeat U.S. jobless claims data and consumer prices also reduced gold's safe haven appeal. And Lieutenant, GAL and GT and nickel on the London Metal Exchange LME rose 0.8% to $18,899 a ton after having slumped more than 6% on Thursday. Nickel is still up 35% this year. And in Lieutenant, metal and GT and LME copper also traded flat from the previous session at $6,878.25 a ton, and down from Wednesday's 2-month peak of $6,940 a ton. Copper was on track for a weekly gain of around 2%, its biggest weekly advance in 7 weeks. And copper prices have been underpinned by tight supply and falling stocks in the peak season for demand. However, consumption is set to slow from next month, dragging on copper's price prospects. And U.S. crude futures rose on Friday, heading for their biggest weekly gain in 5 weeks on the back of a resurgence in Ukraine tensions and upbeat U.S. economic data. U.S. crude for June delivery was up 37 cents at $101.87 a barrel. And Lieutenant or GTN, additional reporting by Zhong Wushan in Singapore, editing by Eric